Thanks for joining me on UpFront, Tawakkol. You said in your Nobel Peace Prize lecture in 2011 that you have, quote, always believed that resistance against repression and violence is possible without relying on similar repression and violence. Why then do you seem to be supporting the Saudi-led bombing campaign of your country, the poorest country in the Middle East, which has been going on now for more than 5 months?
Thank you, Mahdi, for inviting me to this very important program. I always against the militia. I'm always against the coup of Ali Saleh, who led a counter-revolution against Yemeni revolution, against the former president, exactly, against the values, against the outcomes of the national dialogue, against all the gains of our peaceful revolution, and also our nation. We want to end the war in Yemen. We want to end the violence, and it must be. We have to give solution for that. We have to rebuild the peace in our country. So we will not be able to build peace in Yemen, sustainable peace in Yemen, without first, without drawing all weapons from all militia and from in the front of militia of Al-Houthi. They have to draw from all the cities. Then they have to transfer to be a political party. Then we have to go to a constitution to have referendum, and then to make election. So we need.
Should there be a ceasefire now? Would you call for a ceasefire from Saudi Arabia and from the Houthis in order to get to your negotiated settlement?
Yes, exactly. I call for ceasefire in parallel with this solution. So it's comprehensive solution. Okay. So ceasefire in parallel with withdraw from all the cities, hand over the weapons, transform to political party, because it's impossible that this group carry the weapons to have, and use the violence to have their, political, goals, and also referendum for the constitution and dialogue.
You've been very vocal against the militias, against the coup, against Saleh. But right now in Yemen, there's a blockade of ports. There's 13 million people without access to food. There's 2,000 civilians have been killed. The United Nations says the Saudi-led coalition is responsible for that. And your voice is not vocal against that. We haven't heard you criticize Saudi Arabia in the same way that you criticize the Houthi rebels.
Maybe my explanation, or I accuse the militia of Al-Houthi and Ali Saleh himself and his alliance, the main reason of all this, conflict in Yemen, because they are the one who declare the war.
Why can't you condemn both?
I condemn them both.
So you're opposed to the Saudi bombing of Yemen? You would like the Saudi Arabian coalition to stop bombing Yemen? Yes or no?
I told them they have to avoid the citizen from the conflict. What is happening with the Saudi?
That's a different answer to what?
No.
Do you support the Saudi bombing campaign of Yemen? It's a very simple question. Yes or no?
No one. Of course, no.
So you don't want any military action?
Again, not just me. Even all Yemeni people now who are welcome the Arab coalition inside Yemen to help them, or to end the militia of Al-Houthi occupation, and also the coup of Ali Saleh. Even we don't want war. We don't want violence.
Do you believe the coalition has committed crime? You say the Houthis have committed crimes, and many human rights groups agree with you. But they also say Saudi Arabia has maybe committed war crimes. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I am against all the crimes that happening in Yemen against the civilians. Either it became from the Arab coalition led by Saudi, or the militia and Ali Saleh. What is happening now? Please listen to the voice of people in Yemen who they're under the attack of the militia through the machine of violence of the Houthi and Ali Saleh. They destroy cities, they destroy Taiz, they destroy Aden, they occupied our capital, they threatened our neighbors, they put our president and our government under home arrest. So this is very important. So
it's very important that these crimes are documented on all sides.
Yeah, and
Agreed.
now we are, as Yemeni people, suffered from them as the first, and from the attack when the attack is. The Arab coalition is attacking the civilians. So we suffer from that. This is very important.
But this Arab coalition, I mean, the problem is, in public you're saying, okay, I'm willing to criticize them. But in private, you've taken a different view. There were Saudi Foreign Ministry cables that were released by WikiLeaks in 2011, in which you told the Saudi ambassador to the UN how much you appreciated Saudi Arabia, you praised its leadership, and you said that the Sunni parties of Yemen were, quote, natural allies of the Saudi kingdom. Do you regret saying that?
If you read the whole, document, the whole WikiLeaks, that I condemn them because why do they give Ali Saleh the immunity? And I told them in very clear voice that they alliance, because Saudi at that time has a big alliance with the tribe in the north of North. I told them, you are wrong that you have a coalition and alliance with the north of North. You have to be with all Yemeni people. You are our neighbor, so your future, your choice must be with Yemeni people. And because of that, they didn't listen to this advice.
Maybe,
now that is happening.
But you're also, the advice was to ally with the Sunni parties in Yemen.
No, that's
not what you said.
No, that doesn't. With Yemeni, with Yemeni
well, that's not what the
people.
document says. But let me ask you this. A lot of people see the war in Yemen, both in the Middle East and here in the West. They see the Yemen war as a Sunni versus Shia war, a sectarian war. You're a Sunni politician, activist from Yemen. How do you see it? Do you see it as a Sunni-Shia war?
No, please don't say that I am Sunni. I am Muslim. That's it. So I don't belong to any sectarian side. And that is what Yemeni people think. There is no Sunni and Shia. There is Yemeni people. And now the conflict in Yemen.
But when you tell Saudi Arabia we are your natural allies, when you say on Facebook there's a Persian occupation, that sounds quite sectarian from you.
No,
a lot of people, admirers of yours in the West, were surprised to hear you using this language.
No, it is, and here again it's a Persian occupies, and this is not my.
The Houthis are Yemeni; they're not Persian.
No, they are the tool of Iran.
They're not an indigenous Yemeni movement.
No, again, they are the tool of Iran, and this is not something that I gave it from my own perspective. It is the statements of Iranian people. It is the statement of Jawad Zarif. It's a statement of the.
I don't think Jawad Zarif has said that the Houthis are our tools. In fact, the U.S. government.
Again,
the U.S. government says Iran does not exert command and control over the Houthis in Yemen. That's what the U.S. government says.
This is what they said before, but now they are talking about a big alliance between Iran and and.
But
Houthis.
Is it a sectarian alliance? That's what I'm asking you. Is it a sectarian question?
I said that Iran play bad role and want to make the war inside Yemen and inside all Arab Peninsula between Sunni and Shia.
You're one of the Middle East's most prominent campaigners for women's rights. What role do you think women can play in the battle against extremism in the Middle East?
Woman is the key for solving most of the problems in her society. If she decided to be upfront, so she must do something. And when woman decided to do something, she did. And that is what's happening in Arab Spring. And that is what's happening in our peaceful revolution. All women, when they decided to lead the demonstrations, to lead the change without taking any permission from men, any permission from government, any permission from religious, she be in the street and she led her society to the freedom. Because of that, women in Arab Spring could step down. Muammar al-Qaddafi and Mubarak and Ali Saleh and inshallah very soon Bashar al-Assad.
What do you say to men in the Middle East who say women should need permission to come outside of their houses? They shouldn't be able to, say, drive cars in Saudi Arabia. They shouldn't be able to go to school in Afghanistan. What do you say to those men in some of those Muslim majority societies who hold such views?
I will tell them, shut up. You should, know who you are, and you will not be able to. And all the problems to men like this, I will tell them that all the problems came from you. All the solutions came from us.
Tawakkol Karman, thanks for joining me on UpFront.